The replay we saw. The deck had 3 garnets.
So you got a garbage replay and you don't know the deck list. And how is this news?
We had a second replay.
And what did you see?
20 garnets, sir.
20 garnets? How do you get 20 garnets from a consistent deck?
I don't know, sir.
Then what are you talking about?
I believe we found Flying Fortress Skyfire.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't because it wasn't there! Tell me, how does a summon reactor SK go off?
I don't know, sir.
Then what are you talking about?
Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, back again with another episode of 10-Minute Testing. Today we're playing, Orkest. You know, good old-fashioned, consistent, uninteresting Orkest. So strap yourselves in and... Okay, is Konami gone? Did we shake him? Strap in, ladies and gentlemen, rail bikes and rail cars. I'm here to deliver the forbidden deck list I acquired from the Area 51 raid. I'm talking about one card. Flying Fortress Skyfire. So here's the list, and shh, they're everywhere. Let's just keep this between us. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. So firstly, for those of you that don't know, Reactor is an archetype that I hesitate to mention, as this is not a reaction channel. The wiki says it's a group of monsters styled after World War II era bombers, which I find hard to believe because I don't remember Gundams and dragons charging the beaches in Normandy. It's an archetype that's 4 cards deep, a trap that does almost literally nothing, and 3 monsters that each pop a different card type and deal 800 damage to your opponent. Most importantly, however, is their 5-star monster, Summon Reactor SK, which contribute itself, Spell Reactor, and Trap Reactor to summon Flying Fortress Skyfire from the hand, deck, or graveyard. A card with an effect so powerful, I dare not mention it. But suffice to say, it's basically an FTK. Our list is built around a single, simple, easy to remember, streamlined, resilient, powerful, repeatable, accessible, redundant, and not at all gimmicky 57-step combo that results in a turn 1 Skyfire, all off of a single card. Now this has eluded me for a long time. I won't go into the details now, you'll see it in the games, repeatedly, but let's just say it plays a few garnets. What's more, you've got hard garnets of Hero Kid and Summoner Monk. You've got to draw more free warriors than you draw these, or else you might as well be dropping into Nazi Germany without a Gundam. In order to ensure our garnets get back in the deck where they belong, we're playing Magical Mallet, Reload, and yes, Pot of Generosity unironically. I'd like to shout out Mata Jatika and Stevie Blunder, who were instrumental in the development of this combo. So with that, let's get into the card by card. Firstly, we've got the one, the only, Flying Fortress Skyfire. Make sure you're using the OCG art where he's got a gun for a penis. After Summon Reactor SK is Trap Reactor and Spell Reactor. We're playing 2 of each because they're garnets. Next are some Isolde starters, Vion, Armageddonite, Malicious, Neospace Connector, Aqua Dolphin, Junk Forward, and Blue Mountain Butterspy. After that are our hard garnets, Hero Kid and Summoner Monk, followed by 5 soft garnets we're playing 2 apiece of, Eebly, Quillbolt, Ferret, Glow-Up Bulb, and Gardragon. For spells, we're on a Hero Lives, Rhoda, 3 Instant Fusion, Succession, and a Isolde package of Unicorn, Phoenix Blade, and Deep Seated, and shufflers of Generosity, Mallet, and Reload. Finally, we're on 3 called, since we die to 1 hand trap. In the extra, we've got 13.5 cards that are integral to the combo. Ebe, Tin Musical Battle Mech, Mannequin Cat, Saruya, Curious, Cleafor Genius, Isolde, Nightmare Cerberus. Any Nightmare will do, but Cerberus is the most funny. 2 copies of Binary Sorceress, 2 copies of Barricade Board Blocker, 2 Nightmare Mermaid, an Invoked Raijin, and a Dark Flat Top. While we have no way of making Dark Flat Top, theoretically, he could be used to reborn a Skyfire that has somehow ended up in the graveyard. So with that, let's jump into the games. Our first match is up against Lunalite Time Thief, and such a ridiculous mismatch of decks will certainly match up poorly against the awesome might of Sky Fire. You can see we've drawn one of our hard garnets, but we also have the reload necessary to tuck it back into the deck. We're going to start with a copy of Neospace Connector, special summoning a copy of Neospatian Aqua Dolphin from deck. We'll activate that effect to get this copy of Regulator out of our opponent's hand before activating reload, and no garnets remain. We'll go into Isolde, activate her effect for another copy of Junk Forward, then mill 2 so we can get a copy of Hero Kid from deck, followed by a couple of Stragglers as well. We'll then overlay for a copy of Mannequin Cat, and link summon a copy of Cerberus and Mermaid. We'll use Mermaid's effect for an Eebly, then link summon a Barricade Board blocker, giving the Eebly to our opponent and triggering Mannequin Cat, fetching a Summoner Monk from deck. We'll activate Phoenix Blade, then Summoner Monk's effect for a second Summoner Monk. Afterwards, we'll activate Phoenix Blade again, and then link summon a second Barricade Board blocker, getting our third Summoner Monk, and finally a copy of Rescue Ferret. We will link summon a copy of Binary Sorceress, a copy of Cleave Genius, then we'll activate Rescue Ferret for a copy of Glow Up Bulb Hedgehog, and spell Reactor RE. We'll then trigger the Genius's effect for an SK before synchro summoning a copy of Battle Mech. We'll bring back the Hedgehog and the Gub so we can go into Eve the World Chalice and get ourselves a copy of Succession. We'll then go into Curious, milling a copy of Trap Reactor, bring back Bulb, go into Binary Sorceress, get ourselves a copy of World Chalice Guard Dragon, go into Saruya, bring back this copy of Wi-Fi, special summon this copy of SK, and the Sky Fire has made it onto the board. Our opponent is locked out of special summoning, and don't you dare normal summon. They'll go to battle phase, attacking to our copy of Saruya, then activate Allure of Darkness before normal summoning a Kaleido Chick. That is not long for this world. To the graveyard with you! Afterwards, we're going to... Wait. You can summon twice a turn? How long have you been able to do that? They're gonna overlay for Silent Honor Arc. Okay, wait. You don't need to see the rest of this game. Okay, so that last one was certainly our opponent cheating. They likely found patterns in the YGO Pro Shuffler and are exploiting it to their advantage. If you ever expect that your opponent is doing something similar, do not hesitate to contact Alpha Cretin on Discord. They love hearing this kind of thing. We're going first once again, and thankfully we've drawn the best card in our deck, Pot of Generosity. Our opponent is playing Orkest Necros. Surely this should be an easy one. We're going to lead with a copy of Vision Hero Vion, setting a copy of Malicious to the graveyard. We'll then activate Pot of Generosity and Malicious to get a second copy of Malicious from our deck before link summoning a copy of Isolde. We'll get a copy of Junk Forward to hand, then activate it for 2. We'll get Hero Kid and activate Hero Kid's effect again. This is looking pretty similar to what happened last game, likely because it's the exact same combo. Afterwards, going to go to Nightmare Mermaid, getting a copy of Eebly. We'll link summon a copy of Barricade Board blocker. We'll give the Eebly to our opponent and get ourselves a copy of Summoner Monk. We'll use the Grave effect of Phoenix Blade and then use Summoner Monk's effect to get a second copy of Summoner Monk. Then we'll use it again and link summon a copy of Barricade Board blocker before getting our third Summoner Monk from deck and then fetching a Ferret. Afterwards, we're going to link summon a copy of Binary Sorceress, a copy of Cleave Genius, and a copy of Glow Up Bulb, Quillbolt, and Spell Reactor RE. We'll use Genius's effect, as always, before going into Tin Musical to bring back this copy of Gub. We'll use Quillbolt and then go into Ebe. We're then going to go into Curious. We'll activate Curious's effect to send a copy of Wi-Fi to Graveyard. We'll special summon back Gub so we can go into this copy of Binary Sorceress, ending on a Saruya, a Succession, a Summon Reactor SK, and a Flying Fortress Sky Fire! This is an incredible board. Our opponent is left with a single Ebe. What can they do with such a... Wait. Can you... No way. No way! Oh, we can stop this. We can destroy this with our copy of Skyfire. Oh, come on. I will not let this dampen my spirits. I am still fully committed to summoning Flying Fortress Skyfire every single game. Our third round opponent is playing Psy Frame Gear, a deck with no offensive capability to speak of whatsoever. This should be a walk in the park. We're going to lead with a copy of Pot of Generosity. After that's resolved, we're going to normal summon a copy of Neospace Connector, activate its effect, and... Wait. Is this deck... bad? All around me are familiar brick hands, never sick hands, losing quick hands, loading in just for me to quit, man, losing rating, my tears are filling up my glasses, no extension, hide my head, I want to do my combo, no tomorrow, and I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad, The dreams in which I skyfire are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to top. When people shotgun hand traps, it's a very, very bad deck. Bad deck. Okay. Our opponent is playing Pendulum. And we're just gonna set up and get blown out by their ridiculous combos, so let's get it over with. We'll start with a junk forward, activate reload, because of course we drew garnets, the deck is full of them. We're going to normal summon a Vion and then link summon an Isolde, just going through the motions here. We'll get a Hero Kid from deck, followed by a couple of his pals before we overlay into a copy of Mannequin Cat. We'll then link summon a couple of Nightmares, like it matters, get an Eebly from deck, go and Barricade Borg, trigger Eebly's effect, trigger Mannequin for a copy of Summoner Monk, start Summoner Monking through Summoner Monks, another of Konami's many mistakes. We'll go into a second copy of Barricade Borg, Monk for Monk, Monk for Ferret, and then link summon a copy of Binary Sorceress. We'll go into Genius, use Ferret's effect, bring out Glow Up Bulb, the Hedgehog, and We'll then use Genius's effect for SK, go into Battle Mech, use Battle Mech's effect, and then bring back Hedgehog before Synchro Summoning Eeb, Link Summoning Curious, reborning this copy of Glow Up Bulb, making Binary Sorceress, specialing Gardragon, making Saruya, reborning Wi-Fi, specialing SK, and making Skyfire. Well, let's pass it back to our opponent. They only have 700,000 ways to beat us. All of them start with getting this Eeb off their side of the board. They'll set Scales, use Curtain Razor's effect to special itself. They'll Desires for a couple of cards. Afterwards, they'll set Jackal King, and then Pendulum summon one. I suppose I'll destroy Endymion, but it's likely not the last we're going to see of him. Our opponent's going to go into Electromite and then bring out Endymion with this Magister. Afterwards, they're going to gain the attack boost from Saruya, activate Electromite's effect, bring back Destrudo so that they can, summon a Boral Sword Dragon and pass it back to us. Wait, can we out this? We'll target our opponent's monster with our Spell Speed 1 effect of Skyfire. We'll then special summon a copy of Malicious, special summon a copy of Trap Reactor, Magical Mallet for good measure, turn our monster to attack, and... I told you this deck was unbeatable. So we're back with the deck, and it is unstoppable, unbeatable. It's the most powerful deck I have ever laid eyes upon. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1. There is not a single card that can stand up to Skyfire, with possible exceptions of every Sky Striker, every Salamangrate, every Orkest, and every Thunder Dragon. Those aside, not one monster can attack over his impressive mechanical girth. 2. The combo is consistent, nigh uninterruptible, and best of all, should the unthinkable occur and your board is outed, very repeatable. And 3. His effect is really, really good, provided you're in time. And the cons. 1. I can't think of a single one. I mean, this deck is extreme.
Konami police. Open up.
So that's that. While I appreciate all of my viewers, a special thanks to my patrons, especially Crispy, Michael Sam Muir, Utterly J, Distrin, Lucas Geertis, Adam Trevino, Second Lieutenant Labcoat, Fiore, Meepmoto27, Adrian Bra, Adam Sunquist, Isaac Jackson, Donnie Fillerup, and Mika Reichman. If you want to see me play the decks I make on this show on stream, I'm on twitch.tv/mbtygo every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.